Well, and also it's kind of the opportunity for the Browns to show that they're worth something.
I don't know what your infatuation is with the Browns.
He's from Cleveland.
Born and raised.
Name one suburb of Cleveland.
Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones.
Hey, took the words out of my mouth.
Is that a boulevard or a drive?
Place. It's a place. You're lucky it's not a loop.
All right.
Are we on?
Yeah.
Oh.
Listen, boys, if you would have told me that we were going to enter our second week of the It Just Makes Sense podcast celebrating of our picks overall. We're experts.
Yeah.
We can call ourselves an expert podcast right now.
Yeah,
right?
no.
We are recording this on Tuesday night. The LA Clippers have just been eliminated.
None of the teams that are left have any chance against the Lakers because I don't know anyone that could guard Anthony Davis.
I think I might just look my way to the Eastern Conference and say, let's go Miami Heat. Let's go good old Myers Leonard.
They are impressive, and I don't think it's because Myers Leonard.
Does Myers even play?
And let's get it straight. This is future guest of the podcast.
Myers, we
Leonard.
want you, Myers.
Let's get it straight. It's just not Myers Leonard. It's future guest of the podcast.
It's Miss.
Myers
Have some
Leonard.
respect.
I do not think Mr. Leonard is the guy that's going to bring the Heat home. However, I do think the Heat.
What a pitch to get him on the podcast.
Sorry.
There he goes.
Sorry, Myers.
See you, Myers. We were so.
Myers!
Mr. Leonard, we were so close.
Well, boys, so we enter our second week of the podcast. It Just Makes Sense podcast, but for us, it just made a few more dollars for, I think, all of us. I remember saying on this podcast last week, I am not a parlay guy, and yet I somehow found myself...
Peter won. Peter won a 3-pick parlay.
It was...
For once in his life, Peter took a risk.
And his wife will continue to let him bet. It's gonna be fucking great.
We've made it to week 2 as far as the wife allowance.
Hey, one step at a time, boy.
Okay, so allow me to take you guys through my parlay bet. First one was the under on the Cowboys and the Rams. And so then, bold strategy here. I picked both overdogs. Did it again!
There's a...
I'll be the interpreter here. So, folks, the overdog...
Which nobody says,
which
by the way.
has been said by no human on earth. The overdog is actually the favorite in Peter's mind.
I don't know why I think that the overdog is a
I
thing.
think you're thinking about that movie with Justin Timberlake.
Which one?
The Overdogs?
There's a legit movie called The Overdog?
That is right over my head. You just...
Hold up.
All right, fact check.
Hey, let's put some nice music under this. I'll add the music post-production. Get out of here.
Oh, it's Alpha Dog. Son of a bitch.
There's always a dog in the game. What was your overdog, Pete?
My overdog, I bet the overdogs of the Titans and the Steelers. I didn't really watch the first half of this game, and I got a text message just saying, "Can you believe that he's missed 3 field goals?" And then I turned the game on, and then Steven Gostkowski misses a extra point, and now I'm starting to lose my mind. So I did what any dejected person would do in this position, and I took to Twitter on the @official IJMS on Twitter.
Follow us.
Follow.
And I started unloading on one Stephen Carroll Gostkowski.
His fucking middle name was really necessary.
Listen, when you are a parent and you realize that like you really want to add some emphasis into there, you throw Stephen Carroll.
Yeah, you throw the middle name.
You throw that middle name right in there. So meanwhile, a guy who doesn't do parlays, who plays $25 to win 104, is now confronted with his wife, who hates the fact that he's doing this.
Yeah, what would happen if you bet more than $25?
So I'm having a panic attack at this point. Either way, 3-pick parlay pays out $104. I'm feeling good.
I hit a parlay for the Heat and the Nuggets to win $10 to win 70. So
He's
good,
rich.
Good for me.
And while we're talking about guys winning bets, here's your resident bet loser. Lost my parlay today, which means I'm not eating tomorrow.
Okay, so I mean, that was our weekend. We're going to move next to calling out the nonsense. What's the first thing that comes to mind?
The Eagles.
So I called the Washington football team a dumpster fire. I just said go with the Eagles no matter what.
Nobody thought they were going to win.
I want the viewers to know and start paying attention and listening to Peter sounding like Chris Hansen from To Catch a Predator.
Fuck you! Oh no.
With those
you just
white
shattered
balloons.
the glass for everyone. Oh no, I just did it!
For everyone.
We're here in Jacksonville. A man by the name of Clyde shows up here on his hot summer day.
Holy shit, it's just like him.
What are you doing here? But you know what? We will say, we've got other week one takeaways, and one being Miguel calling it out that you said it might be backyard football, which it was.
Yeah, well, a couple of things that are takeaways from week one. Definitely confirmed Giants, dumpster fire. Watching Daniel Jones be on survival mode for 60 minutes was pretty entertaining. They stacked that box against Saquon, and he couldn't do anything. I think he had like 6 rushing yards.
It was one of the worst rushing performances in NFL history. After all the nonsense that we just went over, we're going to review everyone's record. So we have our loser officially at 9-11-2, and what we said last week was that we were going to have a punishment associated with said loss. We're going to get into that a little bit later on in the show, but first, what we're going to do is a new installment called the 2-Minute Drill, which is a recap of last week and everything that we got into and all the shenanigans that took place. How the hell did you
God bless you.
here?
God bless you.
There's several people we begged to listen, and some
They're-
people...
They're probably not listening, let's be honest. But you are.
Because Asians love 2 things: drifting and gambling. I do want to make it clear that I don't want this to sound like I win a lot of bets. I don't. I just placed a bet just now that I could have used this money to wipe my ass, because this is probably a pretty dumb fucking bet.
I mean, if the Indians were not good in the 90s, I probably wouldn't have been a Cleveland sports fan.
Was that the Chipper Jones years?
I mean, Chipper was obviously with the Braves.
Oh, totally. Totally. I think I would call this the shitstorm of the week.
I thought this was the shitstorm of the week.
The Redskins one?
No, like us right now.
Yes, very, very much so.
And they still will find a way to fuck it up. They had that last year.
I told you, Peter. I can
He
feel it
can
in
feel
my
it in
palms.
his soul. This is brass balls. All right? No knowledge, no research. Just put your money in and see what happens.
Well, I do think there's a couple things that we should probably make people aware of. First of all is Peter picked the under in the Bears game. That was embarrassing.
And where is this coming from? We already did the nonsense thing.
I'm just saying.
Misery loves company.
You were wrong. I just want to make it clear that you were wrong.
We're done making fun of each other's picks.
Okay, I just want to make it clear that you were wrong. Can you agree with that?
Yeah, so save it for next week. You know, like there's a window.
We don't sandbag.
Respect the window.
We're not sandbaggers, bro.
All right, so coming up later in the show, we have my son Brody's pick for Sunday Night Football, in addition to our It Just Makes Sense picks, and then we will conclude the show with Braxton getting punished. Let's get into our It Just Makes Sense picks. Before we jump into our NFL picks of the week, we're going to take a look at some NBA futures bets. Do you guys want to know the numbers, or do we just want to pick?
I want to pick.
We don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Let's just pick. If we're talking straight basketball, I don't see anyone that could check AD. I don't see anyone that could check Anthony Davis from any team that's left. I'm taking the Lakers to play the Celtics in the finals. Lakers win in 6.
The Celtics and the Lakers put asses in seats. Where I'm putting my money is not the same. Because I'm going to put my money on the Heat.
I'm right there with you. How poetic it would be to have LeBron back in the NBA Finals for the first time with the Lakers. And to have Kobe's year, everything that is pointing. To then have the Miami Heat, one of his former teams that he won the championship with, shit all over the possibility of that happening. And I just think it would be so poetic. And if anything good can happen to me in 2020, it is watching the Miami Heat beat the LA Lakers.
That's not happening.
For the NBA championship.
Name the amount.
All right, boys. So now that we have our NBA Finals picks, which you can now review on @officialijms on Twitter, we're going to get into our Week 2 NFL picks. We're going to go rapid fire. The person who is up will have 30 seconds to make their case as to who they are picking, and then we will tell that person if it makes sense or it's nonsense.
All right, Thursday night we have the Cincinnati Bengals against the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are favored by 6 on the spread, and the over-under is 43.5. Obviously, I'm going to take the Browns. I think Joe Burrow. Did an incredible job against the Chargers. I'm just going to ride them until they die. So, Cleveland Browns. I'll take them money line all day, every day.
Absolute nonsense.
My first pick of the week is the Titans and the Jaguars. Now, the Jaguars are currently a 9-point underdog against the Tennessee Titans. The over-under is 42 points. The favorite of this has gone 7-3-1 against the spread. I do like Gardner Minshew and the Jockstrap King. Do you guys know how he got the Jockstrap King nickname?
Was it from a party in Pullman?
Probably.
I've heard the hammer story.
What I read was that Gardner Minshew got the Jockstrap King due to his propensity of stretching in his jockstrap, and sometimes not even with that in the locker room as part of his game day ritual.
You gotta respect that.
You got to. Absolutely.
You gotta respect that.
I also heard that during his freshman year, he was trying to redshirt. And obviously, if you play 2 or more games, you can't redshirt.
Right.
And the starting quarterback had gotten injured, so he was in a position where he might start 2 games and wouldn't be able to get his redshirt year. So he got a bottle of Jack Daniels and just slammed it and grabbed a hammer and started slamming his own hand, trying to break
Jesus
it
Christ.
so he could be on injury and wouldn't have to take his redshirt year. But he couldn't break his own hand. Literally, he drank the whole bottle of Jack Daniels, literally slammed his hand through with a hammer.
Literally, did he know the guy sitting next to him ended up with a broken hand?
Yeah.
He was so drunk he couldn't even see. I'm going to take Jacksonville, and I'm going to ride the Jockstrap King. Whoa.
How'd that feel?
I don't know how hard I'm going to ride that Jockstrap King all the way this
Better
week.
get comfortable, buddy.
Oh, God. What has this night turned into? So I will take Jacksonville -9 and ride that Jockstrap King all the way.
You're going
to
to
the
take
bank.
Jacksonville -9.
Yeah. +9, sorry.
Hey.
+9. I think we're going Buffalo, Miami, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Buffalo is favored by 6. They're -6 on the spread. Over-under is 41.
What was up with Josh Allen and his little, greasy fingers this past weekend? He was coughing it up, man.
He just had some popcorn.
He still played well.
It was a little bit of popcorn.
Was that it?
Yeah. He had popcorn.
Why are we saying it like that?
He had popcorn.
Popcorn?
You don't remember Brucey from Longest Yard? Look it up.
Moving on.
Peter, will you fucking catch up?
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. All right, so the next game that I have on my slate is the 49ers and Jets. The 49ers are 7.5-point favorites. I will take the San Francisco 49ers to win this game as a money line. No, absolutely not. I'm taking the spread. I just forgot, like, Le'Veon Bell is on the injured reserve. He's not going to be there long, but he is there. Can we all agree that Sam Darnold has, like, a really punchable face?
No comment on the Sam Darnold because I know a couple people that look like him and I don't want to offend them. Hey, remember when you said the Washington football team was a dumpster fire?
Remember?
Hey, remember?
All right, Braxton, you're up next. What do you got?
I got the New Orleans Saints, Las Vegas Raiders. New Orleans is favored by 5.5. The over-under is 49.5. I don't think these two teams are able to score that many points. I'm taking the under for sure. But I do think that on money line, the Raiders win.
I think that's nonsense.
Tell me why. Why is that nonsense? Why do you disagree?
You don't bet against Drew Brees. I don't give a
He's
shit
78 years old.
You know what? I wasn't really going to get into... Hold on. I wasn't really
I
gonna,
offended him.
No, I wasn't really going to get into this, but he's getting so heated about this fucking Saints game. Name your price. I'll take the opposite of what you're taking just so I can fucking laugh at your ass next week.
So you're going to take New Orleans minus 5.5.
New Orleans minus 5.5?
Yes.
Yes, $100.
Oh, shit.
Shake my fucking hand. $100. New Orleans minus 5.5. This is on fucking air.
Don't do it.
Minus 5.5.
Don't do it. You've lost these
Hey,
bets. You know you've lost these
remember,
bets.
we don't have Michael Thomas. Ooh. Shake my hand.
Is there an audible sound we can have for like a shake hand? Can we like
Shake
slap it?
Peter, just let the goddamn people know that he's shaking my hand.
Put your microphone. There it is. Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, no.
I don't know if you can hear it. We're shaking.
Oh, we're shaking, baby.
Minus
Oh,
5.5.
no.
Gambling. Ooh.
This is not going to be good for us in the long run.
Hey,
You're up, Miguel.
Giants Bears. 41.
How about the Bears?
Ugh.
I mean, yeah.
How about the
you were
Bears?
fading the Bears.
But how about them?
But how about them?
Hey.
Hey, I'm taking the Bears. The Bears are going to cover 4.5 points. They're 4.5-point favorites. I'm taking them. You saw the Giants last week, and Bears win. Minus 4.5.
My next pick is the Chiefs against the Chargers. So
Dare you to pick the Chargers.
Do it.
I dare you to pick the Chargers.
Do it.
I was already going to get there.
Bunch of assholes.
I was going to get there. So the Chiefs are favored by 8.5, and the over-under is 47.5. I am definitely taking the Chargers to cover plus 8.5 for sure, and I'm taking the over. I think that this is a shootout. I think that this is the first real defensive team that's going to actually be able to stop the Chiefs. I love the Chargers here.
You know that the Chargers last week scored 16 points, to Tyrod Taylor, their quarterback, threw zero touchdowns, and there is already a potential quarterback controversy in LA to try and get Justin Herbert in there.
Let him be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm saying it's nonsense.
Yeah, he's calling you nonsense.
What are you calling me?
I'm indifferent.
He just wants to watch the world burn with us.
Oh,
Can we get to my final pick? Shout out to my buddy Junior, who's a big Broncos fan. Sorry, buddy. You guys are going to lose to the Steelers.
Yeah, that's toughy.
Steelers look good. No distractions. They look really good. And I'm taking the over at 41.5.
So my last one is the Panthers and Bucks. So the Bucks are currently big favorites. They're 9.5-point favorites. And it's their first home game at Raymond James Stadium, but they're not allowing fans for all of the month of September. So there's no big like pomp and circumstance for the first home game. Like, oh, it's Tom's first. Like, you're not going to get juice for that.
I only see Tom Brady getting better, not getting worse.
9.5 points. That's a lot. Like, I think the Tom Brady factor is really being heavily weighed here.
I
think
agree.
that
I bet you're right. There's
Yes.
just like there's going to be just so much money all season long,
like
riding on the Bucks, and it's just going to fucking skew it.
and like, don't get me wrong. Week 4, week 5, and I'll probably ride the Bucks heavy. On the spread on this, I'm going to take the Panthers. I don't think the Bucks outscore the Panthers by 10 points. I think that's a stupid bet, and the odds might be against me, but I'll make $5 on 10. I don't give a shit. But I'll ride the Bucks. I do believe in Tom Brady. I do think that he has the ability to manage a team on his own, but it's going to take time. It's going to take time.
Okay, pick of the week. Game
Pick
of the week.
of the week,
Game of the
the
week.
Sunday night
Game of the
football
week.
game between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. We've got the Seahawks, who will have their first home game, are 4-point favorites over the New England Patriots with an over-under of 44.5.
I think an easy bet. You can take this shit to the window. Over. I'm taking the over on that. That's easy. I know we're 1 week in. I think it's not a smart move to bet against Seattle. I think Wilson, with his weapons, and I don't think it's smart to bet against them. However, I love going against Northwest teams, and I love Cam. I love Cam Newton. I am taking the Pats. I'm taking the Pats money line.
I mean, I don't necessarily know if the 4. I think it'll be close. Again, like, Cam Newton's kind of a polarizing guy that I always kind of fade against a little bit. I think that Cam Newton's kind of a weird anomaly when it comes to the Patriots, because he's very much a guy who kind of like makes everything about him, or at least like
Yeah,
he's a big character in like a characterless team in a way, and I don't. It doesn't vibe.
Bill gave him the keys, baby.
Well, and
Bill gave him the keys.
And I agree with you, Peter, because it's like such a contrasting dynamic where Cam Newton is like very out there and flamboyant and very in touch, whereas the Patriots are very closed door.
Buttoned up.
Exactly.
And the thing is about the Patriots, right? And something that Tom Brady was so good at was that you didn't necessarily need the offensive weapons around you. You're that good, right? Like, same thing for Peyton Manning, right? Like, Peyton Manning made a lot of extra people some money, right? You had Julius Thomas that earned a lot of extra money. Demaryius Thomas, who earned a lot of extra money. In those Super Bowl runs, they go somewhere else, or someone else is their quarterback, and they're nothing.
Where is Demaryius Thomas right now?
I'm not sure. Maybe like a Florida team?
Dancing with the Stars?
Big brother?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, a guy like Tom Brady is that good that it doesn't fucking matter, right? Again, I don't like the guy. I respect the guy. And Cam Newton is now dealing with the treasure trove, quote unquote, of what the Patriots have, and he's going to find that there's not a lot there. And I don't think that a guy like Cam Newton is going to do that. And the reason why you saw him scoring so much and doing so much is because he doesn't trust that yet. And he's going to try and take matters into his own hands, and then he's just going to fuck up along the way. He's going to make big mistakes, and it's going to be in the Seahawks' favor.
You're saying you're taking Cam's rushing yards as a sign that he doesn't trust his teammates?
Absolutely.
How do you feel about Lamar Jackson? How do you feel about Kyler Murray? How do you feel about quarterbacks that rush
But when
and that
you
get rushing touchdowns?
because they also have
they don't trust the receivers?
No, they have the passing yards to back it up, and Cam did not have the passing yards to back it up in week 1.
It's,
So-
it's
but
selective hate.
We'll let Peter off this one time.
So as I promised, I did have my son Brody. My son Brody is 18 months old. He is going to be a celebrity picker every week. So what we did, and I will play the video for you, we put 2 of Brody's favorite snack treats in front of him. One that says Seahawks and one that says Patriots. Which do you think that Brody went for?
Well, hopefully, for your sake, they didn't take the Patriots.
All right,
I can
Brody.
hold your piece for you.
We have our week 2 picks. On one side, we have the Seahawks for the popcorn, and on the right side, we have the Rice Puffs for the Patriots. Oh, it's an easy one. Oh, not so fast. Brody is now crawling
Not
across
so fast. Here come the Patriots.
the table. And he has grabbed the Rice Puffs.
What are you going for?
Nothing has been
Both are
eaten
sitting
yet.
in front of him. I have now replaced the puffs.
Seahawks, Patriots, Sunday Night Football. Patriots are gonna win the game. The Rice Puffs.
So my own son has gone against me.
Smart kid.
Well, I think that we've reached a point where we should just all go home, I'm sure.
Right, yeah. I mean, we should just forget about the fact that that it's time to pay the piper. As mentioned earlier in the podcast, Braxton went 9-11-2 on the week, finishing last. And that means that Braxton now faces the consequences of being last. So,
Should I go get it?
yeah, he is now forced to eat 2 atomic wings from Wingstop on the podcast. What is going through your mind as you prepare for this atomic wing challenge?
Now that he's heating it up, I feel a little bit different. and to be honest, I don't really know what to expect.
So I have looked this up. The Wingstop atomic wings are on the Scoville rating between 200 and 350,000 heat units. It's right in the way of a habanero pepper. So, I mean, it really could have been worse.
Can I go?
Yeah, go for it.
Can't drink anything until after.
All right, first bite. He went all in. He didn't even, like, go
Get you,
halvesies.
sucker.
And now you're even licking your thumbs.
Yeah, do it.
Are you going to go quick? What's going on here?
Hey,
How do you feel? Real quick.
Ro-
Stop down real quick. How do you feel?
It's very hot. Roll that shit around the sauce. You really... Come on, you can do better.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, did he
The
just spit on me?
coughing's probably the worst thing. Oh, no.
Yeah, it's
pain.
Yeah, that shit hits in the back of your throat.
Just everything is sweating.
Can I drink it?
Swallowed? Yeah, you can drink. You're good. Good job. Proud of you. He did it. It's a pretty good punishment. Not hot enough, in my opinion. It's not that hot.
Is it that hot? Like, does it feel that hot?
It's awesome.
We took a video of this. It's available on our Instagram account.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
It was worth it.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter at @officialigms as well as on
You
Instagram.
better fucking follow, you sons of bitches.
I don't think that your chaser of rum was very good. Usually people.
Rum isn't gonna fix this shit. These are ice cubes.
Usually people.
Oh my god.
Okay, we'll see you guys next week.